Let me out! Let me out! Oh boy, I'm tired. Let me out, 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 let me out. I'm out. What's going on here?
I've got big news for you, Shepard. Captain Anderson is stepping down as commanding officer of the Normandy. The ship is yours now.
Derp!
She's quick and quiet, and you know the crew. Perfect ship for a Spectre. Treat her well, Commander.
Wait, what is this?
I want the truth. Why are you stepping down, sir?
You needed your own ship. A Spectre can't answer to anyone but the Council. And it's time for me to step down.
There's more to this.
Come clean with me, Captain. You owe me that much.
I was in your shoes 20 years ago, Shepard. They were considering me for the Spectres.
You should have told me.
Why didn't you ever mention this?
What was I supposed to say? I could have been a Spectre, but I blew it?
Yeah.
I failed, Commander. It's not something I'm proud of.
Still.
Ask me later and I'll tell you the whole story. For now, all you need to know is, I was sent on a mission with Saren, and he made sure the Council rejected me.
Typical.
I had my shot. It came and went. Now you have a chance to make up for my mistakes.
You can count on me, sir.
I won't let you down, sir.
Saren's gone. Don't even try to find him. But we know what he's after. The conduit. He's got his Geth scouring the Traverse looking for clues.
We had reports of Geth in the Pharaoh system shortly before our colony there dropped out of contact, and there have been sightings around Noveria.
Find out what Saren was after on Pharos and Noveria. Maybe you can figure out where the conduit is before he does.
What about the Reapers?
The Reapers are the real threat.
I'm with the Council on this one, Shepard. I'm not sure they even exist.
But if they do exist, the conduit's the key to bringing them back. Stop Saren from getting the conduit, and we stop the Reapers from returning.
Okie dokie.
I'll stop it.
Urgh.
We have one more lead. Matriarch Benezia, the other voice in that recording. She has a daughter, a scientist who specializes in the Protheans.
Oh, really?
I don't know if she's involved, but it might be a good idea to try and find her. See what she knows. Her name's Liara, Dr. Liara Tassoni.
Another alien lady.
She was exploring an archaeological dig on one of the uncharted worlds in the Artemis Tau cluster.
That will be our first destination soon enough. I'll start there.
Sounds like we should head for the Artemis Tau cluster.
It's your decision, Commander. You're a Spectre now. You don't answer to us.
But your actions still reflect on humanity as a whole. You make a mess and I get stuck cleaning it up.
Whatever, whatever. I do what I want.
I'll try not to make things any harder on you, Ambassador.
Glad to hear it, Commander. Remember, you were a human long before you were a Spectre. I have a meeting to get to. Captain Anderson can answer any questions you might have.
No, I'm done.
Yes, Commander?
Are you okay?
How are you holding up?
Honestly, this isn't how I pictured my career coming to an end. Pushing papers really isn't my thing. But you're the one who can stop Saren. I believe in you, Shepard. If that means I have to step aside, so be it.
That's enough out of you.
I should go.
I'll be here if you need anything.
Well, time to take command of our ship. Haha! The Normandy is ours! Open!
Stand by, shore party. Decontamination in progress.
So I was like, damn it, I don't need this. I get this crap every day.
Decontamination in progress.
Heard what happened to Captain Anderson. Survives 100 battles and then gets taken down by backroom politics.
Boo!
Just watch your back, Commander. Things go bad on this mission, you're next on their chopping block.
This feels wrong.
Captain Anderson should be the one in charge. It's like I'm stealing the ship from him.
Yeah, the captain got screwed. But it's not like you could have stopped it. Nobody's blaming you. Everyone on this ship's behind you, Commander. 100%. Intercom's open. If you got anything you want to say to the crew, now's the time.
I need to be honest with them.
This is Commander Shepard speaking. We have our orders. Find Saren before he finds the conduit. I won't lie to you, crew. This mission isn't going to be easy.
Humanity must do its part.
For too long, our species has stood apart from the others. Now it's time for us to step up and do our part for the rest of the galaxy.
Tally!
Time to show them what
You have a
humans
lovely
are made of.
silhouette. Saren will be ready for us.
Our enemy knows we're coming. When we go into the Traverse, Saren's followers will be waiting for us. But we'll be ready for them, too.
Everyone is counting on us.
Humanity needs to do this. Not just for our own sake, but for the sake of every other species in Citadel space. Saren must be stopped.
Stop looking at me,
And I
Williams.
promise you all, we will stop him.
Well said, Commander. Captain will be proud.
I won't let him down.
The captain gave up everything so I could have this chance. We can't fail.
Yes, sir.
Alright! Ooh, let's look outside. Yay. Let's go have a quick chat with a couple folks. And then call it quits. I'm just gonna talk to people I really give a shit about right now. And they're all on the bottom floor. This is the first time we're going down here to our little hangar area. It's where the engine room is, or engineering, whatever. It's also where we keep our weapons, armor, and a tank. It's also where Rex, Garrus, and Tally hang out. That's the stories we care about in this one. Sum up Ashley Williams. She's a bitch and she's xenophobic, so man. Kane's a really nice guy, but he gets a lot of headaches and he killed somebody with his biotics once. Yeah. Hello, Rex.
Nice ship you got, Shepard.
Why, thank you. I
What
stole
can
it fair
I
and
do
square.
for you?
Personal inquiry, sir.
What's your story, Rex?
If you'll indulge me.
There's no story.
Oh.
Go ask the Quarian if you want stories.
But, come on.
You Krogan live for centuries. Don't tell me you haven't had a few interesting adventures.
Well, there was this one time the Turians almost wiped out our entire race. That was fun.
That was his one time we almost got wiped out. That was fun. That's unfortunate.
I heard about that. You know, they almost did the same to us.
Not really.
It's not the same.
Well, it's really not. It's nowhere even close.
It seems pretty much the same to me.
So your people were infected with a genetic mutation?
Derp.
An infection that makes only a few in 1,000 children survive birth? And I suppose it's destroying your entire species?
I see your point, sir. Please don't eat me.
I suppose it isn't all the same.
I don't expect you to understand, but don't compare humanity's fate with the Krogan.
Touchy subject?
I was just making conversation. I wasn't trying to upset you.
Your ignorance doesn't upset me, Shepard.
Oh, thank you.
As for the Krogan, I gave up on them long ago. The genophage infected us, but it's not what's killing us.
Tell me about your extinction problem.
Are your people really dying?
We're sure not getting any stronger. We're too spread out. None of us are interested in staying in our own system.
So?
Lots of species have left their homes and prospered.
But they go to colonize new worlds. We're not settlers. We're warriors. We want to fight. So
And it's
we
killing
leave,
us.
Hire ourselves out. And most of us never go back.
What about the genophage?
What can you tell me about the genophage?
Save me the trouble.
Ask the Solarians if you want details. They made it. All I know, it makes breeding nearly impossible.
I tried.
Thousands die in stillbirth, and most never get that far. Every Krogan is infected. Every one. And no one's rushing to find a cure.
Nasty thing, that genophage. There was a war between the Krogan and, well, everybody else a long time ago. And to put them in their place, the Solarians made something called the genophage, which really kills their fertility rate, and the Turians decide to drop it on them. Yeah.
Why don't the Krogan try to find a cure?
When was the last time you saw a Krogan scientist?
Not yet, but...
Ask a Krogan. Would he rather find a cure for the genophage or fight for credits? He'll choose fighting every time.
I get paid to fight?
Just who you
Awesome!
are, Shepard. I can't change that. Nobody can.
I see.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
And just because I can, and it's so popular.
Shepard.
Rex.
Shepard.
Rex.
Shepard.
Rex.
Yeah. It's like a joke in like so many different games now. Hello, Garrus.
Thanks for bringing me on board, Commander. I knew working with the Spectre would be better than life at CSEC.
You knew?
Have you worked with a Spectre before?
Well, no, but I know what they're like.
Oh, really?
Spectres make their own rules. You're free to handle things your way. At CSEC, you're buried by rules. The damn bureaucrats are always on your back.
True.
Being a Spectre does have its advantages.
Exactly my point. If I'm trying to take down a suspect, it shouldn't matter how I do it, as long as I do it. But CSEC wants it done their way. Protocol and procedure come first. That's why I left.
That was your reason?
So you just quit because you didn't like the way they do things?
There's more to it than that. It didn't start out bad, but as I rose in ranks, I got saddled with more and more red tape. CSEC's handling of Saren was typical. I just couldn't take it anymore. I hate leaving.
It's a tough decision. I mean, it was your job.
I hope you made the right choice. I'd hate for you to regret it later.
Well, that's sort of why I teamed up with you. It's a chance for me to get off the Citadel, see how things are done outside CSEC. Either way, I plan to make the most of this. And without CSEC headquarters looking over my shoulder, well, maybe I can get the job done my way for a change.
Sounds good to me.
As long as you do your job well, you're free to go about your business as you see fit.
Thank you, Commander.
I like initiative. Hello, Mako. You will be our tank. Ooh, I leveled up from that. 15 experience. Lovely.
Commander, good to see you.
Alright. Now, one more little lady we're going to talk to. Ooh, monitor. And there's Chief Engineer Adams.
Hey, Commander, you know that Quarian Tally? She's been spending all her time down here asking me about our engines.
Is she bothering you?
I'll tell her to leave you alone.
What? No, she's amazing. I wish my guys were half as smart as she is. Give her a month on board and she'll know more about our engines than I do.
Oh, nice
She's got a
guy.
real knack for technology, that one. I can see why you wanted her to come along.
She's useful.
I figured she'd be a real asset to the team.
You got an eye for Tally, Commander, but I'm guessing that's not why you came down here.
Talk to you later.
Carry on, Adams.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Just wanted to get that little bit about Tally.
Your ship's amazing, Shepard. I've never seen a drive core like this before. I can't believe you were able to fit it into a ship this small.
Well, kind of amazing like that.
I'm starting to understand why you humans have been so successful. I had no idea Alliance vessels were so advanced.
This ship's special.
The Normandy's a prototype. Cutting-edge technology.
A month ago, I was patching a makeshift fuel line into a converted tug ship in the flotilla. Now, I'm sitting on board one of the most advanced vessels in Citadel space.
Quite a change, I
I have to
imagine.
thank you again for bringing me along. Traveling on a vessel like this is a dream come true for me.
Oh, she's the geeky tech girl. You're in the ships?
I had no idea you found ship technology so interesting.
It comes with being a Quarian. The migrant fleet is the key to the survival of my people. Ships are our most valuable resource. But we don't have anything like this. We make do with cast-offs and second-hand equipment. We just try to keep them running for as long as we can. Some of the fleet's larger vessels date all the way back to our original flight from the get.
Really? But that was 300 years ago.
I can't believe your fleet's still using ships that are 3 centuries old.
They're constantly being repaired, modified, and refitted. They aren't pretty, but they work. Mostly.
Mostly.
We've tried to make ourselves as independent as possible on the flotilla. Grow our own food, mine, and process our own fuel. But some things we just can't make on our own. A patch to maintain the hull integrity requires raw materials we just don't have. That's why pilgrimages are so important.
What about the Quarians?
Tell me about your people.
Our lives aren't easy. Resources are scarce,
Sorry.
and we are constantly on the move. Everything we do must in some way contribute to the continuation of the migrant fleet. There are 17 million Quarians in the flotilla, and each of us relies on the others for survival. The bonds among my people are strong. Unfortunately, we have had to surrender many of the freedoms and civil liberties other species take for granted.
Like what?
What kind of freedoms?
Well, it's illegal for parents to have more than one child. If our population grows too much, it would strain our resources to their breaking point. Of course, we also can't allow our numbers to become too few. If our population is in decline, the rule against single births is temporarily repealed. In extreme cases of population decline, incentives are even offered to encourage multiple births. Though the Conclave hasn't had to take such measures in nearly a century.
The Conclave?
That's your government.
The Conclave is our civilian branch of government. Each ship can elect a representative to serve on the Conclave and make decisions that affect the fleet as a whole. On matters that affect an individual ship, however, the captain has the final say. It's a tradition that dates back to the early days, when the fleet was governed by martial law. Fortunately, most captains nowadays are smart enough to have an elected council from their crew to give them advice and guidance.
You're democratic?
So the ultimate power rests with elected officials.
In practice, the Conclave and the respective council for each ship tend to set the rules that govern our daily lives. But in theory, we are still under military jurisdiction. The 5 top-ranking military officials in the fleet serve on the Admiralty Board. These 5 have the power to overrule any decision by the Conclave in case of emergency. To do so requires unanimous agreement among the Admiralty, and they can only do this once. After that, the entire board must resign their posts.
Man, we should do that nowadays.
As well. In nearly 3 centuries, the Admiralty Board has only overruled the Conclave 4 times.
4 times in 3 centuries. You get 4 vetoes in that time. Wow. Tell me about the Geth.
I want to know more about the Geth.
I doubt I can tell you anything you don't already know. It's been almost 3 centuries since they drove my people into exile. All I know is the story of their origins. What they were when we created them, and how they turned on us.
Tell me.
Interesting.
The Geth were originally created to serve as an automated manual labor force. Initially, their intelligence was as limited as any VI. Over time, we made small modifications to their programming to allow them to perform more varied and complex tasks, bringing them closer and closer to true AI status.
This is a good chance to get a bunch of the lore out of the way, so... yeah. Isn't AI research illegal?
How come the council didn't step in and stop you?
This wasn't true AI research. We may have been skirting the bounds of the law, but we never did anything that was actually illegal. The changes were so insignificant, so gradual, that we were able to control them. Or so we thought. But one thing we underestimated was the power of the neural network. A million Geth thinking simultaneously created an inherently unstable matrix.
Oh, neural network?
So, the Geth share brain power?
Many of the Geth's logic systems were designed to work in concert with other nearby Geth. Basically, the more of them you have in the group, the smarter they are.
Like a hive mind.
So there's some sort of group consciousness?
No, nothing like that. They cannot share sensory data or information. Their programming cannot handle that much simultaneous input. Each Geth maintains an individual awareness and identity. The neural network only operates on a process-based level. It's basically the synthetic equivalent of a subconscious. But when they're in close proximity, they can coordinate low-level functional processes, freeing up more capacity for original or independent thought.
I don't get it.
That doesn't make any sense.
I'm probably oversimplifying. The Geth are incredibly advanced and complex creations. All you need to know is that they get smarter when they gather in large numbers. As we built more and more Geth, their effective intelligence became more sophisticated, more abstract. One day, a Geth began to ask its Quarian overseer questions about the nature of its existence. Am I alive? Why am I here? What is my purpose?
Why am I digging this hole?
As you can imagine, this caused a near panic among my people.
What happened next?
What did you do?
It was inevitable the newly sentient Geth would rebel against their situation. We knew they would rise up against us, so we acted first. A general order went out across all Quarian-controlled systems to permanently deactivate all Geth. The Geth responded to this order violently.
I'll bet. They were just defending themselves.
You can't blame them for fighting for their survival.
We had no other choice. The Geth were already on the verge of revolution. By acting quickly, we had a chance to end the war before it began. The hope was that most of the Geth would still be little more than machines, incapable of organized resistance. But they had progressed much further than anyone anticipated. The war was long and bloody. Millions upon millions of Quarians died at their hands. In the end, we were forced to flee our own homeworld. We feared the Geth would pursue us, but they never came beyond the Veil. Now we drift through space, exile, searching for a way to reclaim what was once ours.
They're defending themselves.
I feel sorry for you. Your ancestors tried to wipe out another species.
We made a mistake when we created the Geth in the first place, but we did not make a mistake when we went to war against them. If we had not acted, they would have wiped us out. They're a synthetic life form. They have no use for organics. None. Why do you think they cut themselves off from the rest of the galaxy? Why do you think they've killed every organic being who's ever tried to contact them?
Sorry.
I didn't mean to offend you.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get so worked up. Most Quarians tend to have pretty strong opinions about the Geth.
Tell me about your pilgrimage.
I want to know more about the pilgrimage.
When my people reach maturity, we leave our birth ships and seek acceptance with a new crew. It's necessary to maintain genetic diversity among the fleet. But no ship wants to accept someone who will be a burden on them. So, to prove our worth, we embark on a pilgrimage. We set out alone, leaving the flotilla and our families behind us. We only return once we have found something of value we can bring back to the fleet. This is presented as a gift to the captain of the respective ship we wish to join. If the gift is accepted, we are welcomed into the crew.
They always accept?
Can a captain choose to reject the gift?
That doesn't happen often. Most captains are eager to increase the size of their crew. It increases their own standing in our society.
Biggerer is betterer.
Even when the gift is not particularly valuable, the captain usually accepts it out of a sense of tradition. However, there is a stigma to presenting a substandard gift. It's not the best way to make a good impression on a new community. Most pilgrims don't return until they find something worthwhile.
Sounds dangerous.
I can't believe they just send you off alone.
It's not like they just cast us out. Before we leave, we are given lessons in how to survive outside the flotilla, and given gifts to help us on our journey. We also receive implants to fight off sickness and disease. Generations of living in an isolated and highly controlled environment have left our immune systems weaker than most. By the time we leave the fleet, we are well equipped for the pilgrimage. This is a rite of passage for all Quarians. If it were dangerous, our numbers would suffer. Virtually every pilgrimage ends with a triumphant return and the ritual presentation of the gift to one of the fleet's captains.
Let's change subjects.
I want to talk about something else.
Like what?
Actually, I'm done.
I should go.
See you later.
See you later, cutie. Yeah. Okay, this has gone on way too long. It's been almost 2 hours. Well, it's okay, hour 45, whatever. And it's inserted a bunch of frames. I hope this hasn't screwed up the syncing too much. Have to look into that. Anyway, Now that we got a bunch of lore out of the way, when we come back, we start getting into the real meat and potatoes of the game. Later.